Okay. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Heard You Sis podcast. This is your girl Danny,
And I'm Kils.
and we are here on this warm ass Sunday.
Mhm.
Today is very warm and it's kind of scary, not necessarily because spring is on the coming and
Nah, nigga,
upcoming.
this shit's scary. We ain't even
We in
in
March.
mid-March. Like
But-
mid-March
But
usually.
you know, I think Groundhog's Day, the groundhog did come out. So I think they said we had like either 3 more weeks of summer. I think spring. I don't know what the first day of spring. I
you
think the first.
believe in like Groundhog's Day?
I don't believe in none of that shit. But
Okay.
it's
It's funny what people believe in.
It is very funny what people believe in.
It's like, I don't believe in God, but I believe that, if I step on a crack, I'm gonna break my mama's back. Like it's just like it's like so crazy how things seem like they align, but they really don't.
They don't make any sense
Mhm.
because
As long as it makes sense.
and like people who have like superstitions, I don't understand that either. Like superstitions, I don't believe in like, oh, you walk under what do you call it? You walk under a ladder, you're
somebody sweep your feet, you're not gonna get
married, or you break a mirror 7 years bad luck, like shit like that. I don't believe in.
I'm not gonna lie though, and this is definitely age telling, but when they was sending out them chain letters back when we had AOL and shit like that, I used to be like, you're not gonna get me. Like, you're definitely not gonna.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
You
started getting tired.
You
I'm
get
like,
tired
yeah,
of it. You definitely get tired of the chain letters because it just doesn't make like any sense. It's like, damn, how many chain letters I'm a send? Like,
right, like,
so
I believe that.
But anyway, girl, how was your week?
My week was good. It was very relaxing. I kind of like unplugged a little bit. And that's really it. Like, next week I plan to do like a lot of like self-care. So I'm like really excited about that. And that's it.
That's good. How was my week? It started out a little like topsy-turvy, but actually been very, very, very peaceful. Like it's probably been one of the most peaceful weeks I've had in a long time, and I've actually been very happy about it. I started life coaching, and you asked me what I asked her because you asked me.
Yeah, because I'm like, what is the difference between a life coach and a therapist? Because I hear a lot of people say they have life coaches, or I hear people say they have a therapist, and I never really and I don't feel like Google really gave me the answer that I was looking for. Because when I looked on Google, it said, yeah, girl. Because I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I've known people to do it, but no one like really close enough to really just start really asking questions. So because you didn't necessarily delve into it. But from what I got on the internet, it kind of just said that a life coach is a therapist.
Yes, it's kind of like a therapist, but a life coach, she explained it. She said a therapist more so delves into your
psyche,
your back, your trauma, and your like stuff from the past. And a life coach, while they do touch on like some of your trauma, they focus on where you are now and where you want to be in the future. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't need to go back into my traumas and stuff. I think I've pretty much resolved all of that. I really want to focus on self-improvement, growth, and things of that nature. And this week was our discovery call, and I am actually happy about like her choosing her, like and price is pretty good. So I thoroughly like.
I also think that is I think that's another thing too when it comes to like therapy and stuff like that, because like I've paid out of pocket and have been okay with it, but I definitely had to like make a sacrifice. Like maybe I didn't eat out a couple more times that week and I had to like whatever. So I think that is good that like you're okay with that.
Yeah. I definitely listen we pay for what we want. So I decided that it was something that I needed to budget. Like I want to budget that, and because I just feel like when you want to self-improve, like you have to make those kind of sacrifices, and I'm okay with that. Like I was willing to pay for it. So I'm excited.
No, most definitely.
I'm excited to start that. That
Wait,
journey.
did I miss what she said? What did she say was the difference?
You did.
The Google definition?
It wasn't the Google definition. It's somebody who works on your future, where you are now.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily too much into the past.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. this week was pretty good. And I would say that, I'm excited for like where it's going, where we got a trip coming up and I'm excited for that. Oh, I paid for laser.
Oh, like
I'm
laser hair removal?
excited.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I can't wait.
I'm excited for you
Yes.
because I'm gonna start on my laser journey a little bit later on. But yeah, I want one particular area. I'm telling, and that's it. You know what I want to know, ladies?
I feel like this is gonna be hilarious.
I want to know if you see 1 to 2 chin hairs, right?
Ooh.
Why won't you get it lasered off? Like, why are you just picking it every other week? Like, what
it doesn't grow back every week because I have like 2 specific chin hairs that I gotta get rid of. But I just pluck them little babies out because I feel like when you start like doing too much to areas, they start growing back. Like I noticed when I started like microdermaplaning my face, yeah, this mustache gotta be mustached, okay?
But didn't I tell you that though?
You did, and
I
didn't
did.
listen.
And when let me tell y'all, because she was like, "Oh, I was what is it, dermaplane?"
Dermaplane.
So that is basically when you like. Basically, you go get a facial and they just like take off all the hair off your face or whatever. And everyone doesn't have like male hairs where it's long as hell or whatever. Like females have like light, faint hairs on our skin. Like for example, like I have a lot of light, faint hairs between my eyebrows and my hairline, but that doesn't mean I have like it's not connected.
Some people really got like low hairline. It's not like that.
Yeah, no. It's just a faint hair. Only I know it's there. Even if you rub it, you wouldn't even know it's there. It takes for me to really like do it. Like when I'm doing my brows, to be like, all right, cool, I got some hair there. But yeah, so like I'm happy for you, girl, because I'm ready.
Oh, I'm telling you, hair bumps, those is not sexy. Everybody's like, everybody's been asking like, so waxing is not enough.
So what do you do for the hair bumps?
I was using PFB. When I started like stop getting waxes and just started shaving, I've noticed significantly that it's definitely gone. Like the amount of bumps that I get is like little to none. But still, like I
feel like shaving is better than
shaving is better. But who wants to shave every week? Like especially if you have a boo thing. Like who's doing that? I don't want to shave every week.
I think with shaving, I realized
it definitely darkens the skin too.
Really?
Yeah.
What I will say is that, because I hadn't seen my wax lady in a while. This is not I have a wax lady and I have a wax sister. Like I'm talking about, like I'd be like,
that's our girl. Shout out to Kenya.
Yes. So my wax lady, who I use in between times that my wax sister cannot come to the phone, I basically like use her or whatever. And I will say that I'm not gonna get too TMI, but I left there unhappy by the time I got home. There was a place that hair should not be in, and it was there. And that is the place I'm not saying that it shouldn't have been, like, it should have been gone. Like, I mean, annihilated. And this is why I'm going to get lasers. I don't even have time for that area. Like, let's get the fuck out of here.
First of all, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm so excited for my laser that I'm lying. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, another thing, if you guys do get hair bumps, I use this thing called a salve. In my hair, my waxy sister put me onto it. It's a salve is basically like you rub it on the actual hair bump and it pulls the hair up from the root. So like it just gets smaller. So like if you do have a hair bump, maybe in like a day or two, it'll go away.
Wait, first of all, why you didn't tell me about this until now? Like you broke my heart.
Because I think I bought it like a year ago. And somebody I know needed it because they had like a pimple or a bump or whatever, and I gave it, and then I realized that I never got it back, so I finally did get it back, and then it made me remember that.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna jump right into the episode because I have a question. This is a random question that just came to my mind. I need to remember. So I had a debate I know you're gonna agree with me. I had a debate with one of my close cousins about sharing Spanx. And I said, if I give you Spanx, you can keep them. And they said, Why not? It's just
I just want to pause here. The person I shared the salve with, I was intimate with. So let's really keep it up. Like, I see what's going on here, and I'm not really here for it. I see the cusp of where this conversation came from. And
I'm not gonna lie, my mom like, you took that back.
Yeah, I took it back. And honestly, the person didn't use it. Like, all the spaces that I touch, I literally remembered it, and they didn't use it. Like, unless they really, like, they didn't use it. You know, like, you know niggas. They, like, you give them something, and they be all hype about shit you give them. Like, oh, yeah, I need that. Why you ain't give me some? And they don't fucking use it. They just, they follow it.
Yeah, I just had to, I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
I know you're not
she
like that.
She didn't call me dirty, but I felt the vibe, and I wanted to address that shit. Because touching a hair bump and touching the sow, it seems like...
this is how you know this girl is really my best friend, because she knew exactly.
She was like, oh, let's just jump into it. Like, no.
Okay, so, because we've had this discussion before about Spanx.
Okay.
So how, if somebody gives you Spanx, right?
No, we had conversation about, like, panties and socks, I feel like. I don't necessarily remember.
No, panties and socks, but we'll talk about that off air. Okay. But honestly, if somebody gives you Spanx, would you take them back?
No. It's like a panty.
This is what I
It gives me panty vibes.
It's a little close to the cooch. So I was having this conversation with somebody who was close
to a bodysuit.
Yes. And they were
I don't want a bodysuit back. Just saying.
I'm sorry, it's a little close to it's like here. Like,
we could do shirts, we could do pants, all of that. I'm cool.
Socks.
Jackets, whatever, but
no. So
I do draw the line at, like, undergarment.
If you want to borrow my Spanx, no problem. But if I have to borrow something like that, I don't know if I necessarily want to. Like I remember one time, like, I got super, super drunk, right? And yeah, because you remember this story.
Yes, I do.
I got super drunk, and it was my birthday, and I'm not going to tell you what happened, but apparently, we're going to skip past that. Anyway, I wake up the next morning, and I have on some drawers that are not mine. And I said, who the fuck put these on me? And it was like, you didn't have none on, so I had to give you some of mine. And I was like, bitch, don't you ever in all of your life, don't you ever put your drawers on me ever again. They were like, yo, but you didn't have none. I would have preferred to lay on the floor.
First of all, I want to give a little context here. When you're drunk, you're heavy. So all I'm saying is that dedication that person took to put them fucking drawers on you was love.
That person,
so let's not take that away.
That person is the center of my heart.
Yeah, so
they know that there's in my heart. She was like, I just did it. I was just like, bitch, don't you ever do that. Ever. Leave me on the floor, okay? Don't you ever.
I don't want anyone's undergarments on me. Like, for example, one of our friends and I'm very secretive about my Pilates place, rightfully fucking so. But I brought one of my friends to Pilates or whatever the case may be. And I was like, yo, it's not a requirement, but they ask you to bring non-grip socks. And to me, it helps me. I don't want to be slipping and sliding all on the floor. Like, I want to be grounded.
Grip socks. You mean grip socks? Non-grip, non-slip socks.
Okay. Yeah. So it has, like, the little grippies at the bottom.
I know what you're talking about.
Or whatever. So I was like, oh, I got an extra pair. I'll bring you some or whatever. And I had bought, like, this big old pack from, like, Amazon. So, like, I was just washing the ones I kept wearing or whatever. And she was like, oh, I thought you had worn these or whatever. And I was like, nah, like, I feel like if I had a pair that was fresh, I would have told you if I wore them already. Like, that was a context I would have gave to you. Like, oh yeah, I wore them or whatever. But I would prefer a sock over a panty.
I'm not going to sit here in front. Like, I've never been like, girl, like, this sock got a hole in it. Let me borrow a pair. Not borrow, but let me have a pair of socks. Socks is something, but panty is a little intimate. And Spanx are a bit intimate. Like,
I mean, now that we're older now, socks may be intimate too, because I see a lot of y'all getting tips on y'all toenails over fungus, and I don't think that's okay.
yeah, but you know what?
I'm just saying, y'all
That's not
wildin'.
us, though. That's not us.
No, it's not us.
We're
I'm just
not
saying,
going.
like, the ladies are out here wilding. Like, y'all
They
need to
did.
get that
I'm
fixed.
not gonna lie.
This
Like,
is the
y'all
winter
need
time. This is perfect timing
to go to the foot doctor, the podiatrist. That's the name of it. Please.
And it takes about a year. You start around September. A nigga, you know what I'm saying?
It don't even take that long. To be honest, if you getting the right treatment, take about like 6 months.
Yeah. I had I knew of a girl who had a foot fungus or whatever. She went to go get it fixed, and they literally told her, like, yo, so glad you came, because this shit was 2 seconds from being irreversible. Can you imagine that? I would be devastated.
How do
give me my toe back? Like, I would be so upset. Like,
how my question is, guys, I'm so sorry if I feel like I'm judging y'all, but
I'm not. Don't say nothing that's judgy then.
You're right.
I'm just saying. I understand, because I like, all right, for the like last week or whatever, I didn't have any polish on my toenails, and my toenails were fine. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like, this shit look whack. Where the polish at?
Where the polish at?
Where the polish at? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so I'm not.
But I'm a person that, like, maybe that's just me. I'm a person that pay attention to all the details of my body. So if I notice, like, if I see like a toenail looking a little brown, like, I'm like, yeah, my toenail's not brown. Like, why is there a little brown?
But a lot of people don't really know about the podiatrist. There's so many like factors to that. But I feel like if you do see that your toenail can't get polish on it normally, because, you know, when you get a fungus, it becomes deformed a little bit, the nail, and like there's a lot of things that happen.
Yeah,
and I just feel like
thick.
Yeah, once you get to that point, I feel like you should definitely go to the podiatrist for sure. Like,
don't get me wrong, I gotta go to the podiatrist now, because, you know, this bunny gotta go. But
that's some shit you do when you gotta take, like, what is that? Like family leave or some shit?
FMLA.
Like yeah.
I mean, you could go back to work with. You can go back to work after.
I've heard many people get like surgery on their foot.
I've gotten surgery on my foot, and
they say, and those people that have got up and went to work and all that shit right after has said that they regret it.
Yeah.
You really got to give yourself time, because there's literally shit you walking on them.
Yeah, but honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, losing your foot is definitely a hard thing to go without, because I've done it before. I had like surgery on my feet when I was a kid to reverse flat-footedness. And I'm not gonna lie, I was joking on my dad last night. I was like, God, thank you. I said, Dad, I'm so glad that my mom decided to fix my feet, because imagine walking like that. It heals. Like,
so
you walk inside on your feet. Like, you walk on the inside of your feet because they're flat.
You can reverse that?
Yes, that's why I have an arch now. What they do is that for me, I had like little loose ankles. So, you know, I had little flabby ankles.
Okay.
And what they do is they put pins in your ankles. They pull up your Achilles tendon to form the arch. When your feet are flat, you don't have an arch. It looks like the inner parts of your hands. When you have an arch, it looks like this. So when you have heels on, like, it looks, but there are some people who have flat-footedness and don't walk on the inside of their feet. But imagine, like, if I was a dancer, all that stuff, like, that would have been terrible for me. The pain I would have felt and just all of that. And that's what's caused me to have, like, bunions. It's because I got
an arch in my foot. My mom has a deep arch. It's like giving, like, yeah, I got a heel on, but I don't.
I love people who feet like that. Those are definitely great dancers, because when they do like point and everything, like their arch is like beautiful. But I'm not gonna lie,
dancers' toes be fucked up. They be throwing up gang signs, bitch. You, like,
sometimes I be looking.
I was seeing some girl dancing on her tippy toes, and I was like, bitch, you better get down. You're not helping yourself right now. Get down from there.
No, but honestly, like, I think if I didn't have an arch, point would have been very hard for me to do. And I'm not gonna lie, that also contributed to like the bunions. I'm not saying that my feet are terrible because I think that my feet are ugly, and people be like, "Yo, your feet are really not that bad." I actually have this nigga who would be in my DMs, be like, "Yo, please, can you please send me some foot pictures
and send the funds? What the fuck are we doing?
He be telling me he will pay. He will pay, but honestly, like he's a childhood like not friend, but like somebody I've known since a kid. So I just feel like it's kind of weird because if I ever see you in person, you're gonna be like, "Yo, those feet, like the way he." Oh my god, Jesus.
I mean, when you got a foot fetish, you got a foot fetish.
You do have a foot fetish.
So that just is what it is. But I've definitely got paid for.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow, you did? Oh wow, I cannot be like you when I grow up. I want to be like.
I'm not gonna delve too deep into it, but yes,
girl, that's fire.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like my feet are
you got some pretty feet.
Cute. You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Nice feet, girl. You got some nice feet.
saying. So
you got some nice feet. I can't even lie.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
So, but I wouldn't say that my feet are ugly. I actually have beautiful nail beds. I think my toes are the toenails are very nice.
It's so crazy how we care about certain things, like those like guys with certain nails.
Ooh,
or like,
oh my god, waterbug nails! Please stay away from me. What? I hate them.
I think a lot of Asian men have them. I don't think nothing's wrong with it.
I don't like waterbug nails. I don't like those, and I don't like men.
If you don't know what waterbug nails, it's like a little bubble. I can't explain it.
This sounds mean, but listen, everybody got their preference. They're more like they kind of like curve over.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're wide, and I just don't think it's sexy. Like I don't think it's sexy. I don't, and I hate men with fingernails, and I hate men with dirty fingernails. Like there was this one guy that I was talking to. His nails were always clean, and I was like, oh my god, that's so sexy. Like I never seen his fingernails dirty. Never seen them long. They were always clipped, and I was like, you're so sexy.
Yeah, I felt like I never I don't like guys with nails, but I've definitely dated somebody with like waterbug nails, and I didn't think it was crazy.
Yeah, you lick on them, baby, not me.
I wasn't licking on them.
I'm joking.
I don't know how we got there, but I was definitely not licking on them. But I didn't mind them touching me, and I didn't think they looked crazy. So that's where I'm gonna leave that at.
Okay. So all right, here's a question I have for you. What is a good age to stop asking your parents for money?
I'm gonna be honest. I think that at some point you should give your parents a break.
I do.
And I'm not saying that they can't help you. I'm not saying that they don't want to help you, but at some point, unless it's like something dire where, like, for example, you got a kid and your man beating on you and you got to move out to a new place and you need $7,000, but you only got $5,000 and you need $2,000 from your parents. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, you're in a dire situation, you need help or whatever the case may be. I don't think it's wrong to lean on your parents. But I really think that at some point you got to pull yourself up, and I don't know. I think maybe like 25.
Okay.
What you think?
For me,
because I haven't.
You actually. The
last time I asked my parents for money had to be like 2017.
So I asked that because I seen a post where somebody was like, after 25, you shouldn't be.
Really?
After 25, you shouldn't be asking your parents for money. This is my thing. I don't. You see, I think you're more so thinking rely on them for money. I'm always asking my parents for money. Okay? If I the other day, I'm taking like driving lessons or whatever, and I'm taking driving lessons, and I want to get 2 more lessons, and while I've already paid for the package, I literally asked my dad like, "Yo, Dad, can you send me like some money to get more lessons?" Like, cause I feel like you brought me in this world. And you support me for the rest of your life. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No. I think after 25, you shouldn't be. I think before, if you go to college, after you graduate college, stop relying on your parents for money.
I don't think so. Because first of all, people, after you leave college, a lot of times that field that you studied, you don't even get into it.
I said,
So you navigate in life.
I said relying on your parents for money. I didn't say stop asking them for money. I said relying on them for money. Because relying on them for money means
I think 25 is good.
I think
18 is so unrealistic.
I didn't say 18. I said college.
No. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, like, when I think of it, like, college is what?
23?
23? You got 2 more years to, like, try to figure it out.
I just paid for your ass to go through all these years of school. And you didn't get a good job. Okay, cool. You can still get a job.
I get that, but...
So I think...
All right, so you said asking for money.
Asking for money.
I'm referring to more
I don't need my dad to pay for those sessions. I have the money. I just don't want to pay for it.
I don't know. Even if I need it, I literally would try my best to find a way, and then I will rely on my parents.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not relying. You see, we're getting the same thing. Confused again. I'm not relying on my dad to give me the money, because if he would have told me no, I would have still paid it. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to pay it.
I don't know. I feel like my parents are so good to me that I don't even want to use them as an option.
And that's the thing.
I would ask a nigga that I'm fucking with for money before I ask my parents.
I would do both.
You slaying this pussy down, nigga, I could ask for something.
You absolutely right. You know
what the fuck?
But you know what's crazy? I think it's harder for me to ask a man for money than it is to ask my dad, because I know my dad's gonna give it to me.
I'm not in the business of asking, but if you've given me money before, I'm gonna ask. I feel like I don't feel like it would be crazy.
I think the first time asking for money from a nigga is the hardest.
You think so?
It is. It is. It's the hardest, because you. This is when you find out if he not a broke nigga, if he a cheap nigga or a nigga that like to give money. You see, this is when you find out. Like, the first time you ask him, you be like, yo, babe, like, can I?
I think you get vibes from niggas.
You get vibes. You know,
like a nigga that tells you I don't want you paying for nothing.
That's a nigga that's definitely
the fuck.
One, and then a nigga that voluntarily gives you money. That's another one. The ones that be acting like, where we going for dinner?
Let me see the menu first.
Let me see the menu.
I don't know. No. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel a little bit more. I would feel a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Because
don't get me wrong. You should be able to ask a man that you are giving cat to for money. Because
I don't want to rely on anybody. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Let's start there. I don't want to rely on anybody. I don't want to ask anybody for anything. And I'm not saying that I can't. I just prefer not to. I'm not going to kill myself trying to figure it out, but I will definitely do my due diligence before I ask somebody for money, if that makes sense.
No.
And like, my dad is literally the type of guy, like, he'll be like, you okay? You okay with money? What you doing for money? Type shit, or whatever the case may be. Or if I go somewhere, like, it's times he done drop me off for vacation. I'm going with my friends, and then next thing you know, I got a couple $100 in my pocket or whatever the case may be, and it's like, oh, I didn't ask for this, but y'all, my dad is the standard. I love him.
He is the standard.
He is. He is the standard. But yeah, I say that to say I don't really, I wouldn't ask for money. The most I would ask for is if I need change for something or whatever the case may be. But I don't know. And I don't think it's wrong to be able to ask your parents for things.
No.
Because a lot of people can't.
No, because the only reason why, honestly,
I think dads and girls are different.
Dads and girls are different, and I just feel like it sounds. I'm joking, but it's kind of true. Your job is never done.
I think when it comes to the opposite sex of parents, I think that
I never like.
I think it's different. Like, if
never asked my mother for money. I literally, absolutely never asked my mom for money.
But what I'm saying is,
she's the person that will give it to me. She voluntarily will give
I think a man would be more comfortable asking his mom for bread. And same way, like,
yeah,
I don't mind. I think my mother would give me bread just as fast as my dad.
Yes.
And she would be more she'll be more like
adamant to give you money.
Yeah, like, oh, you need more or whatever the case may be. But I just feel more comfortable asking my dad.
Yep.
And I think guys, maybe they feel the same way. I don't know, but
yeah, I think so.
But I think 25 is a good age, and I think even in that midst of that, I think you should try to figure it out prior to. But yeah,
so since we're talking about money, can we just address this? I really want to address this, and I love my HBCUs from the top of my head to the sole of my feet. But I just want to know, how many people got full rides to Howard? I
You
don't.
talking about that lady that gave $1 billion to that school?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like just thinking about the college process and talking to my friends have gone to Howard and people that have been accepted to Howard. I literally and they could have the top of the top grades, and I just don't know anybody that's gotten a full ride to Howard. And I just want to know why is that this like why is it so much money is being given to Howard? How come I don't know anybody that's gotten a full ride? Like my cousin has great grades. She got a partial scholarship. I've spoken to we've spoken to Natalia about it, and she's told us like Howard don't really give money. And I just want to know like why is that? Like my sister went to Howard, she didn't get a full ride. Like I don't know anybody that's gotten a full ride to Howard. I understand like at the top of the top, but Harvard gives full rides all the time.
Yeah, because we had Natalia on the podcast, and she definitely spoke about getting a full ride to Babson, and she had great grades. And there were other friends of mine that had great grades as well, but they didn't get into Hampton and Howard on full rides.
So I'm trying to figure out like what is the standard? What's the standard for that? Like why is that the case? Like, I understand like we gotta like but we have millionaires donating millions of dollars. And like why is that when you go to Howard, like you don't get a full ride? Like what is the standard? Like what's the standard? And I need somebody to like really like inform us because how come that's not happening?
Right. I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but I feel like we're in a time and age where Black people are really just trying to get to the bag, and there is a level um of selfishness in that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree.
Like for example, you'll talk to people and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I don't think that this celebrity has to chime in or do things," and like you're in that position with that much power. It's like, why wouldn't you want
Why
to?
wouldn't you? Like,
We see like for example, like we're about to watch the full demise of Amanda Seales in her acting career. No, like all her standing up for the rights that she wants, that she believes is right, her advocating for people that don't have a voice or whatever the case may be. And a lot of people are scared of those things. And then there's a lot of people that are just like, I made it here, you got to make it here too. Like there's two, and I keep saying this, there's like two sides to trauma. It's either you overcome it or you become it.
Or you become it.
And
ooh, that's so true.
I just feel like, especially a lot of people had to really like get it out the mud. They're not really like too pressed about
helping other
people get it out the mud either. Like it's more of like I made it, nigga, you can make it too, like kind of thing. And I don't want to say crabs in a barrel or whatever the case may be, because we're not all like that, and there's not everyone like that or whatever the case may be. But I do think a good amount of us that are in high positions that should be speaking out, that should be like, like advocating for these certain type of policies within like schools or whatever the case may be, are not speaking out. There's so many alumni, and like there's so many famous alumni from Howard. There should be at least one of these people on the board, maybe, right? Like you would think that, right?
Yeah.
You donating all these millions and billions of dollars. When white people donate to these schools, their hope is that they get a building in their name. Their hopes is that they can have some type of influence and power over the decisions that are being made in that school or whatever. And I don't know what's going on with the HBCUs, but I would hope that we could try to like get to that point where you want to make an impact on, I don't know, like I said, at those white establishments, I don't know if those impacts are either positive or negative, but you should want to make an impact on like the school that you went to.
Right. So like I do want to give a shout out to Morgan because I've seen how Dr. Wilson has definitely
hell yeah, that money got put to good use.
The infrastructure of Morgan is definitely from when we went there in 2010 to now in 2024. When I tell you the dorm rooms, everything has like he literally took down all of the old buildings.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a dorm room. What is it? What was it? Thurgood.
They
what? Yo, that shit was the trenches. I'm talking about niggas was getting shot over there and all that.
Yeah,
okay, it was the fucking trenches.
He has really, really done what he was supposed to do.
It looked like the hood in the middle of a campus.
Yeah,
that's how crazy Thurgood was.
They literally like President Wilson. He definitely
did his big one.
He did his big one with Morgan, and I'm so like they even raised the GPA, bro. You don't got 3.0,
Yeah.
you can't get in that bitch.
For real? It
You
was
can-
like 2.5.
It was
when I went.
2.5 before.
Yeah.
You don't got a 3.0, you cannot get in that bitch. You can't go to Morgan. You understand? And I'm feeling him because, you know, like,
And we have one. I will say that we have one of the. I'm not saying the cheapest, but one of the cheaper tuitions. I felt like.
tuition. It was $16,000.
Yeah.
When we were going there, it was like 16.
And then
for a
people that
year?
was in state was like 6 or 7 or something.
3, bitch. It was like 3 when we were in college.
And if you was in state, you could. And if you were in state and you couldn't afford it, you could work there.
And you
and
paid
could
off. But that most places do work study. Most colleges do work study. But honestly, I can see how like Morgan has improved since we've been there, and I am not jealous at all. I'm actually very happy about like the improvements that have been made. So shout out to you, Dr. Wilson, as an alumni.
And I do want to say this as well, that there are so many other HBCUs out there that need funding. Like there was literally like maybe a few years back, one of these HBCUs. I don't want to say Bethune.
I think it might have been Bennett.
Bennett. It was one of these. It was one of these.
Something in North Carolina, South Carolina. I think it was.
And they were about to close down.
They were definitely
all
about
that
to-
money going to Howard. It's like, bro, give a little something to the little.
But you know
the
what?
little
People give to those colleges. We don't want you to tell you. I don't want to tell you not to fund Howard.
Yeah,
I just want
most
to
definitely.
see more people coming out of Howard that been funded and not coming out with.
But then
debt.
again, you got to think about it. What are these schools producing people that come back and give money?
Yes, they do. Howard is probably one of the number one schools that get a lot of funding from their alumni.
But they also have a lot of celeb alumni. They have celeb kind of alumni, like people that might not even graduated, but they went.
Yeah,
we got like so many different people. We got like Yandy, Diddy. We got mad people that like literally went to like that are on TV right now that you see on a regular basis that went there. So I'm just saying, I don't see many people from Morgan on TV. That's not saying that they're not making an impact, but we have one of the best engineer programs in
the country. Honestly, one of the best.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally, like we have one of the best engineering and architecture programs.
So I'm not saying we do get money back. Don't get me wrong. But it's not, I just don't, sometimes it's not as broadcasting. Maybe we have to take that into account because we haven't done
maybe as alumni, I need to start donating some money back. And I'm going to do that. You know, I ain't rich. So, you know, maybe one day I'll donate like $1,000, something, you know.
Yeah, I went to Morgan and I'm one of those little fake alumni. I did not graduate. Okay.
Who cares if you're a fake alumni, girl? You made an impact.
You
made an impact. When I tell you, when people be like, they be like, where Kill at? I be like, she at home, girl.
All I'm saying is that I truly appreciate Morgan. And when I get to that place financially, I will definitely make that a goal of mine to give back. No matter how small it is or whatever the case may be, I feel like I should give back or whatever to Morgan because I feel like that was a crucial point in my life. And I feel like I met a lot of people that really mattered to me there. And I appreciate it. And so if more people could get that experience like I got, definitely. And then also too, like college tours make you want to go to these schools too.
Oh my God.
A lot of kids ain't going. They going to college tours, but they not going on.
That is how I started. That is how I got into.
I went on a college tour. I'm not even gonna lie. I was looking at all the wrong shit. All the wrong shit. I'm seeing fine ass niggas on the bridge. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I need this.
Actually,
yeah.
What made me want to go to Morgan? It's just the vibe. It was like a hug.
Seriously,
it was like a hug.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
And we went right at the perfect time. It was like it was like they was just getting out of class.
Yeah.
You see all the sororities and fraternities on the yard.
Yeah,
you see
with the little jackets and shit.
And I'm like, oh, I'm going here. And I knew from 16, that was the only college that I ever applied to. Morgan State University was the only college I applied to.
I'm not gonna lie. I applied to a good amount of colleges. I got into the 2 HBCUs that I got into. I wanted to go to Fisk, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Fisk University.
Yeah. I wanted to go to Fisk or FAMU. But I didn't apply to FAMU, actually. I applied to Fisk, Virginia State, and Morgan.
You got into
Virginia State, Morgan, and Fisk denied me.
Okay.
And yeah, that was it for real. And I
I'm
made my mind up that
Morgan was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. It definitely was.
It was mad Brooklyn heads in Virginia State, though. I'll tell you that right now.
It's mad New Yorkers in Virginia State. And the thing is that it's crazy about Morgan is that like New York really runs Morgan. New York really runs
You
Morgan.
think so? I don't know about now.
I don't know about now, but when we were there, New York ran Morgan.
Because we got a presence that's felt everywhere, baby.
Everywhere. They used to say that New York girls show the PG girls about Marc Jacobs when they've been wearing Michael Kors.
One thing I will say about that, when we was going to school, sneakers for girls wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
I think that was a New York thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like social media has made it a thing where now girls really be wearing sneakers from other states and shit, but they was calling it tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And they were like, what the fuck is that? Like,
and they used
bitches was wearing Sperry's and heels and shit like that. I'm like, heels? Oh my God.
You bugging. Like, heels?
I got on Charles Barkley sneakers, okay, bitch? Like,
we don't got time for that. Like, we did not have time for that.
Yeah, I'm wearing Jordan 3s. I'm not worrying about no heels to no class. You bugging the fuck out. Like,
so, I'm laughing about this because this has happened to me on campus many times before.
What?
You ever been talking to somebody you can't remember their name?
I'm pretty okay with names.
Oh, okay. Cause
I'm not.
I done had a couple situations like, yeah, girl, yeah, we out.
Oh no, like random people.
Like no, people that you know, you just can't remember their name.
I think I'm okay with names.
Okay,
I can't lie. Do you feel like you do that?
I've done it a couple times.
If I was told your name and we talked about it and let's say we caught a vibe, I'm gonna remember that name. Now, if it was just a flyby, hey, my name is da-da-da, I will let you know in that moment. Look, I mean, I remember this, so I might ask you again. Are you okay with that? Like, And I tell people that too. Like, hey, if you can't remember my name, don't feel afraid to ask me because I don't want you acting like you know my name and you don't. That's
okay. That's. I mean,
We're adults. You know how much shit I gotta remember, nigga. I don't even remember songs no more.
You're right.
I gotta look up lyrics and shit. Like, you see, when you was younger, like, you used to know, your parents used to be like, oh, you know all the songs on the radio. You didn't have much to remember.
You didn't.
Now it's like too much going on. But like, my only goal in life was to learn. So it was like, okay, me learning a song wasn't a problem because all I had to do was go to school.
Was to learn.
Yeah, literally, like, all you doing is going to school, middle school, high school, whatever the case may be. It's just learning. And you might have a little couple of extracurricular activities on the side. But now I got to remember my coworkers' names. I got to remember people I done met in the street, my favorite barista. Like, bitch, I
think I remember people's name when I have an impact, when I'm impacted.
Yes.
But another thing is that, like, at this day and age, if I don't remember your name, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, like, I had met a nigga and he texted me and shit like that. And like by the second text, I told him, I'm like, yo, I know this sound crazy, but I don't remember your name. I don't even remember you. Send a picture in your name. Like,
send a picture in your name.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
That's funny. That's hilarious. But
yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. I will put up a pretext to like me saying like, you know, to soften the blow. Like, hey, you know, I know it sounds crazy or don't get mad or whatever the case may be, but
it don't sound crazy because if it was
he wasn't mad. He didn't feel away. And if he did, guess what? I would have blocked him. We're not on the same vibe.
We're not on the same page.
Yeah,
you get mad about things. That's
too easy. We don't have time for shit like that.
I'm an easygoing person.
Yeah.
So, if
did this happen to you?
No. If I just saw it. Like, I just saw it and I was like, let me ask her. Okay, this is probably the last thing I'm going to ask you before we wrap up. If you get a text from your child at 3 a.m. in a panic asking you to pick them up.
I'm picking them up. Asking questions later, nigga. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I saw this post that was like, for me, I'm definitely picking my kid up, especially at a sleepover, but I'm asking questions while my kid is outside. While my kid asks...
Oh, speaking of sleepovers, I want to tell y'all a story.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I saw a post that was like, if my child calls me at 3 a.m. asking me to pick them up in a panic, the last thing you'll remember is your skull hitting the floor after
Yo,
And
first of all,
I feel that because why is my child calling me in a panic? You understand? Why are we not paying attention to what our kids are doing at sleepovers and things of that nature? My mom was very, very, very careful about me going to sleepovers. Like I think I can count on one hand how many sleepovers I've been to in my entire life.
I could count on one hand, but I definitely went to sleepovers. And I feel like it's so fucking sad that America is just sick, nasty, and disgusting that we can't enjoy simple activities like a sleepover. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I had 2 sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them, and I copied them from somebody else because other people had sleepovers and they were like so fire. Like I went to 2 sleepovers. I had my own sleepover and I had 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think they was like back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And parents were okay. My mom and my dad were in the home or whatever the case may be. We set it up where we all like, I don't know if we was like slept in the living room. I think we did. Like kind of had our own little thing going on. But like the type of kids that I was around were good kids. Ain't nobody throwing no fucking hot sauce and boiling water on me. You know what I'm saying? And then I just had a great time at those sleepovers. And the sleepovers that I had, I know I created a good vibe for it as well. And so I just feel bad that kids can't do simple shit like that. Like it's simple. It's a simple task that people are doing. It's like going to the park. You can't sleep over somebody's house. What the fuck is that? Like, but yeah, I feel that though.
But you know, you have to remember that kids and adults, I'm not going to say just kids and adults, they get some kind of like heart around no supervision. It's something about no supervision that lights a fire in somebody to do something that's outrageous.
Yeah, and I don't want no little Chuckies at my kids' sleepover.
I don't. And to talk about sleepovers, like I'm not going to say I've never done sleepovers with my family. When I tell you, every weekend we was at my grandparents' house and we used to do little shit. When I tell you, me and my cousin, that's the one who taught me how to fight. We used to be wrestling. When I tell you, I was a tomboy as a little kid. Like we used to be wilding. Fights. When I tell you, my cousin, I'm one of the only people in my family that has never fought any of my other cousins. When I tell you, that used to be Royal Rumble on fucking New Year's Eve, them bitches used to be tussling, fighting each other, and the cousins had to break it up.
But imagine that with your friends though, that you've built bonds with in school.
I've had good.
I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying kids now.
Yeah, like
shit is
my best
now.
friends are the only people that I've actually like had sleepovers with. I didn't really have sleepovers with random people. Like my best friends that are still my best friends are probably the only people that I've ever had sleepovers with. And that's because our parents really knew each other. But America is a sick place that you can't have a sleepover because, you know.
Yeah, niggas in like Switzerland and shit like that, they leaving their babies out in the cold on random streets.
They do. But because
we can't have a sleepover?
It's true. It's true. But you said you had a story about a sleepover?
Yeah. I had a sleepover. I remember my best friend, her nose was bleeding, and we were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And she was like hiding in the bathroom. Damn, girl, that was a good time. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, but I've had...
Anyway, the story I had to tell was that a sleepover occurred not too long ago where a girl and her friends she had a sleepover for her and her friends, and they were young, and basically they were like in the basement, and the father of the girl whose house it was literally drugged every last one of them. They put something in their drink. He put something in their drink. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, nigga, you been plotting. But whatever. He put something in their drink, and one of the girls didn't fall asleep. She was groggy, and she texted her mom and was like, "Mom, I think something's wrong, this and the third," or whatever. And then he also, he kept coming downstairs to feel if they were breathing, like underneath their nose. He would like put his finger underneath their nose to see if they were still breathing or whatever the case may be, or like up or whatever the case. And the girl's mother, I don't think she was able to come get her, but she sent somebody else to come get her or whatever, and they discovered what was going on or whatever. But I find that to be sick, nasty, and disgusting. Like, this man was plotting from the minute he knew a sleepover was coming. He thought he was going to have a great, grand, jolly old time. And luckily, and that's another thing too, like, you got to set your kids up for situational awareness. And I'm not saying that they're kids, right? So you can't expect them to be like adults or whatever. Because I watch movies and I'm like, yo, this kid is screaming and they about to get them killed or whatever. And it's like, oh my God, but they're still a kid. You got to set your kids up for scenarios and let them know
When
what
I say
is really
shut the
going.
hell up, shut the hell up.
Yeah, what is going on? What is going on right now to the to the point where you can't tell your kid about, like, if predator comes, what it looks like, what that situation may look like if you go over there. Like, that parent definitely had their kid on point. Or whatever.
And I commend whoever's parent that was.
Right, because it was like, what? She saved all of them.
She saved all of them. They probably would have all got touched. God forgive.
And that shit fucks you up for life.
Yo, people don't realize.
And some people have trauma from things that they literally suppress, and they even act out on those traumas that they don't even know is a thing. Yeah, right.
And that, so this brings me to my last point. Silent battles. I wanted to talk about silent battles because I feel like a lot of people are going through them and nobody can really tell. And all I want to say is, like, if you're going through a silent battle, like, please just find one person. Just one. Like, we want you here. Like, we want you here. We want you present with us. We want you, like, to feel loved. Like, we want that. Like, if you're going through a silent battle, like, I had a friend that was like, like, I've gone through many silent battles and I haven't spoken to anybody, but I always knew I had support. And I had someone contact me on Instagram and was just like, they were just talking to me about something. And I was just like, we're not very close friends. But I told them, like, yo, if you ever need somebody to talk to, like, I'm here. Like, I'm here. You can text me. You can call me. Because the last thing I would like to hear is, like, yo, they was going through something and ain't had nobody to talk to. Like,
but sometimes people have people to talk to, but do they really want to talk to them? Will that person understand? I think there's so many factors to that. But I think that you should find somebody that does understand and that will listen to you.
Yes.
If you feel like you don't have that, there's definitely somebody out there.
There's somebody. And like I want people to remember, like, just when you feel like you're right there, like you're really about to give up, like, just try one more time. Just one more time.
Cause what's that guy named Twitch?
Yeah.
Who used to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And my mom, like, really admired him for years. Like, oh my God, he's so tall, but he looks good dancing. And he always looked happy and he was smiling and shit. He made a post dancing with his wife the day before he killed himself. And people were kind of like, what the fuck? Like, they were really shocked or whatever, because they didn't know that he was, like, going through it or whatever the case may be. And it's like, he had a wife, he had coworkers, he had people that seemingly loved him or whatever the case may be, but he still felt like he couldn't talk to nobody. So I'm gonna just use shrooms, right? I've done shrooms and I love shrooms, and I have spoke to many people about my experience or whatever. And the ones that haven't experienced shrooms are like, they're attracted to that experience. Like, yo, I want to try it, or whatever the case may be. And I let certain people know, I don't think this shit is for you. And everybody ain't gonna do that, but I will let them know. If you're dealing with traumatic ass shit,
please.
First of all, shrooms is a mood drug. Just like ecstasy is a mood drug.
You cannot do shrooms if you are temperamental. Please.
If you're temperamental, you're going through a lot in life that you haven't uncovered or worked through. I just don't even think so. Because I took shrooms with people that was going through shit at the moment before. And it was a terrible experience for me. I would never do that shit with them motherfuckers again. And it has nothing against them. I have great times with them outside of the shrooms. But I'm just saying, with the shrooms, it just was intense for no ass reason. Like, and I'm not going to delve into what was going on because that's none of y'all business. But I'm just saying, like,
it definitely, you have to.
It's not my truth to share. But you gotta know you and you gotta know yourself. So I'm not saying that they went through that because they were just wanted to do drugs or on drugs. But I feel like they they could have been attracted to the experience. You never know. You don't know why people get into the things they get into.
Mm.
Like a lot of times, I have this philosophy that people that live in the Midwest have nothing better to do a lot of times than to like, you know, do drugs and drink and shit like that. What's the movie Ma? I don't know if y'all ever saw the movie Ma. Basically, the movie started out with these kids drinking in this random ass spot in town that you had to drive to mad far and shit like that, or whatever the case may be. And I thought to myself, there's nothing to do in that town.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't got nothing to do, sometimes you drink. Sometimes you might smoke.
Sometimes
you might take it a little further because you don't have nothing to do. Like this is like a recreational thing.
But you actually have a point with that. I feel like, you see, like, I really haven't been drinking, and I have not been smoking at all.
Mhm.
And I've noticed, like, when I'm not on those, like, vices, like, your mind is much clearer. Not only is it clearer, like, you think better, but I feel like when you are bored, you do drink, you do smoke, you do these things because you're bored. But
the pandemic showed that a lot with people.
It definitely showed
alcohol. The level of alcohol consumption increased by a lot during COVID.
And I want to, like, say, like, you know, like, if you feel like alcohol and drugs are the only vice you have, you got to find something else to do, baby.
It's hard to do that in these hick ass towns. In New York, I could literally give you 1,000 options on what to do. Listen, you want to go to a candlelight concert, listening to Beyonce, them doing it, playing it in orchestra. They got that in New York. They got pizza making classes. They got candle making classes. Like,
you're not wrong about that, because I can actually attest to that, because when I lived in Baltimore, like, going out for drinks and links was the vibe. Like, you had no real thing to do. Like, you wanted to go candle making class, you gotta wait 3 weeks for that candle making class.
Because somebody done already bought it, because that shit don't come around a lot of times.
And
you know?
And that's the thing. Like, I definitely agree with you in the when you don't have nothing to do, drinking and smoking, doing drugs or that kind of thing is a vice. It's fun. It's fun. It takes you out of the fact that you're fucking bored.
It takes you out of the fact that you may be struggling. It might take you out the fact that I hate my fucking job. Like, you know, like, there's so many things that come with that. And so I don't want to say, I know I'm trying to bring it back, but I don't want to say that they were on drugs because of trauma, because I don't really know them and I don't know their lives. But, like, I do just feel like drugs is not the only option.
Mm-hmm.
If that's to bring the point home there. But yeah, I do feel like, and that's why sometimes I'm like, I'm somebody who I like to be, when I need to be stimulated, I want to be stimulated. So, like, I like doing things. I like finding new things to do, whatever the case may be. So the option of me living in a hick ass town or a place I don't really got no motion or shit going on, it doesn't appeal to me, because I like to do shit when I like to do it. I might stay in a house for a month, but that next month I might be outside every fucking weekend. I might even go out on a school night. Yes, I call it a school night still. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas be having to wake up early as fuck like kids do to go to work. So yeah, like, maybe I might want to do something after work or whatever the case may be. But that's all I'm saying. Is just that, you know, that's just not an option. It doesn't seem appealing to me.
It's not appealing to me either, especially when you grow up in New York. But we're gonna wrap this up. Before I get off this microphone, I just want to say, if you are feeling lonely, please, y'all, buy a plush toy. They are wonderful. I've been sleeping with my Build-A-Bear Pikachu for the last 3 weeks, and it is a wonderful experience as I sleep. I hold on to that bitch like it is my heart.
You think a body pillow would feel the same?
Probably, but I don't need a body pillow. I just need something close enough to hold. And I've been holding on to this pillow the whole time because it reminds me of Pikachu, and it brings me comfort. I'm not going to lie. Like, nice, good plush toys bring you comfort.
I think everybody's comfort is different.
But try it out. Because I never slept with an animal before in my life. Not animal, but I never slept with, like, a plush toy or pillow. I never did that. And I started sleeping with it, and I'm like, nigga, I don't need you. I just need Pikachu. Ooh, that was a bar.
I'm not gonna lie though. When I sleep alone, I do put my pillows in ways that just aren't conventional if I was sleeping with somebody else.
Gotcha.
So, like, I might have one pillow this way and then two on the side, so it kind of like encased a little bit, or maybe I might have a body pillow and it just might move a different way than a. But yeah, I feel that. I feel like how I can see how that provides comfort.
Yeah, but I love plush toys, and I think I'm gonna buy more. But anyway, we've been going for a while, guys. We love you. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Heard You Sis podcast. Please follow us on all socials, add, like, and subscribe to any of our platforms. And if you guys have anything that you want to send us, please send us an email. We're bored. Love
Real
you
quick,
guys.
I want to say this. My mother told me this. Like when people like do read like people's experiences, like a story that they tell or whatever the case may be, I did not know that was called a strawberry letter.
Oh, but well, most of them I know is strawberry. I know strawberry letters from the Steve Harvey show, but I don't necessarily know that that's literally called the strawberry letter. But now that we know that, send us a strawberry letter. We would love to read your experience. Oh my God, would we react, baby? You will get the reaction of your life. Risa Tisa, we're coming back for you next episode. I'm on the wrong camera. Risa Tisa, we're coming for you because that story is nuts, and I listened to all 50 parts.
Whoa, you're wildin'.
No. I watched it condensed on Facebook, on YouTube. I told everybody to watch the condensed version because you don't got to click.
You didn't send me the comment.
I sent you the page. I did, and I said click. I said they're in order on the page, and I listened to all of them. And I'm not gonna lie. Next time, y'all. Bye.